show. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwa. Help me welcome my friend,
glorynezemma. Welcome back to our sweet home, Africa. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you as our viewer. All right, we have another great topic, my friend.
Okay.
So our topic today is African herbalists. African herbalists. I know a lot of people, when they hear the word herbalist, and I will be thinking about witch doctors and, native doctors and everything in Africa.
Native doctors.
So, I think, take your time, Google the word herbalist and read it and know exactly what it means. All right, so my friend and I were here today to, share some insights about African herbalists and then give some advice, because I know some of them, we don't hear about them anymore. And we thought it was something negative, but we have realized that the word herbalist actually is a positive word in Africa. So, my dear friend, growing up in Africa, you heard about herbalists?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were young in Africa and you heard about herbalists, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Actually, it's not growing up and heard about it. My father was a herbalist when he was alive.
Okay.
And my mother too.
Was a herbalist.
So that took us away from the doctor. It's not apple now, because I hear an apple a day.
It will save you
a trip to the doctor.
Exactly.
But both my mom and my dad, growing up, they use herbal products.
Excellent.
Do not get sick. Sometimes you got to hide it that you're sick. Because when we come, you said Google it. Did you say that?
I told him to Google the word.
I sure did. Because when you talk about a herbalist, you're talking about, person, individual, something relating to a herb. It's a medicinal, you go, you get the roots, you get the leaves, whatever you can get. When you cure some kind of illness with herbs, you become a herbalist. That's the way I look at it. You don't even need to go to school for that. Because my mom and my dad didn't go to no school to know that. I think
it's a gift.
They get it from their own parents.
It's a gift, yes.
Because my mother get hers from her own
it's
side.
It's a divine gift.
And my father I didn't have it.
Okay. You might have
that. I have it. I
didn't
develop it yet.
Didn't develop it.
So that being said, when you were sick, any of us, actually it was 10 of us in the, by one man and one woman, it was 10 of us. So when you are sick, we do not know where the hospital is. My father will go inside the bush, come out with make some kind of concoction. You will drink some, because you are not going to say you won't drink it. You will even take a bath with some. And by the time you're done, you give yourself 2 or 3 days, and you'll be just rolling. So to me, a herbalist is somebody that can go inside the bush, inside the wood, and know certain trees that they can get and put it together, give you the medication. When you take it, you'll be fine. I don't think it have had side effects.
Exactly.
Again.
Yes, thank you so much, my friend, because I mean, this is just the introductory part of it.
Yes.
Because I just wanted to, tell our viewers what a herbalist is.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in Africa, we have realized that a lot of herbalists have been pushed aside. They look at them as if they are evil.
Yes.
And people have ignored the gift that God has given us in Africa. And once again, we run out to the Western world looking for medicine, forgetting that these medicines came from herbs. So that's what my friend and I will, push the point a little bit deeper and encourage people to go back to what our parents used to do. Because those herbs that we have ignored are the medicines that you're paying a lot of money to buy in the Western world. All right, so let's take, for example, the bitter leaf that have become so popular in the whole world. When we were small, we ate bitter leaf almost every day in Africa. And many of us did not get sick then because we didn't know the effects of bitter leaf.
That's right.
Until recently in the Western world, somebody from the Western world discovered that bitter leaf is good. And then forwarded the information. And then Africans are sending it all over the place. Bitter leaf is good, bitter leaf is good. And I'm wondering, so all along that you have been eating bitter leaf, you didn't know that bitter leaf is good? Alright, so that's what we call ignorance, that many of us have what it takes in life to succeed in Africa, especially medicine. And we're giving it up until somebody else discovers it. So what happened to our scientists? Go ahead, my friend.
My dear, once you're already talking about bitter leaf, we're talking about bitter cola nuts too.
Okay.
Because I believe there are so much to it. On this point, we can call our own African scientists before somebody else go and discover it, rearrange everything, and sell it back to us. So because there's so much now going on, big viruses and small viruses going on. So let's look into what is contained in both that bitter leaf and the bitter cola nut, because there are other herbs, other fruits that we have back home that is meant to take care of African issues. So let's not ignore that. As we are saying, herbalists, let me go back again.
Exactly.
Most of us have been talented. It's a hand down on our family, runs in the family. That's why some of us that are here, we are not doing okay. We are just managing. We are working 24 hours, have nothing to show for, because this is not a place our wealth is. So when you rediscover where your own wealth is, it could be that the wealth or the gold, let me use that word, in your family is in your hand. You need to carry that to the next level. Your father do it, your mother do it. Like I said, both my father and my mother, I don't know where mine will carry me. Maybe I have to go back home to know
I think you should go back home.
I should do that because I started developing interest in those things. Things to plant, things not to plant. I think I have to look into that.
Better.
I have to do something.
Yes.
So that being said, I know there are some people like me too that are in their lineage. Maybe they inherited it, they didn't know. And they are outside somewhere else where you have tons and millions of people that you can make to get better. So, but the stereotype that we have about herbalists is making people not to take part in it. Because when you are a herbalist, anything happens to anybody within your compound, they think you killed the person. And that scares people. They don't want to get involved with it again. So we need to start looking into, we can Google it and know that a herbalist don't mean no evil. Because somebody who is evil, whether they're herbalist or not. So we have to take that out of our brain, because somebody go inside the bush or in their backyard and mix up something and give you, you get better. Then if anything wrong, you try to pin it on the person. We have to take away, erase that stereotype. So that Africans, because once they do that, that's a source of income for them too. Because they're not going to take care of their own families alone. They can go to their next door neighbor when they are sick and give them something. So please, let's refocus and know exactly the actual meaning of a herbalist.
You know, thank you so much, my friend. Actually, while you were talking, that's something that came to my mind. Because many years ago, actually I remember when I was in secondary school in Africa, we heard about herbalists and they were coming out almost like, sometimes they have like a school for herbalists.
Oh, okay.
And then it was almost like a trend at that time, but it lasted like a year or two. And then after a while, we didn't hear about herbalists anymore and they disappeared.
Oh.
You know what I'm wondering?
Where are they?
Exactly, because what we have seen so far is that whenever Africans are discovered in terms of their talent or what they can do, they phase out. That means either they disappear to the Western world or they are taken. So that they're taken somewhere and be utilized to develop something without it benefiting our people. Okay, so going back, because when you talked about herbalists, you talked about scientists too. Scientists, what scientists do most of the time, I'm not a scientist, but I'm just a lay person, to my understanding, is that they bring things together to, you know, create something. Even the ones that, you know, work in the pharmaceutical company, they bring these herbs, they mix it up, and they will tell you how much you will take, and this, and this, and this, and then it becomes medicine. Why don't our scientists go back to Africa and find out these herbalists? Work with them. Find out the herbs that can do, I mean, like my friend said, there's someone that they use for malaria. There's some that they use for headache. There's some that you drink. There's some that you inhale. There's some that they have to boil, and then you
for the
use
skin.
it.
They have
Exactly.
something for the skin if you have rashes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So why don't our scientists and our pharmacists go back to Africa? Go to your village once again, because we say rebuilding Africa is piece by piece. You have to start from your village. Speak to your uncles. Speak to your father or your grandfather. Find out the herbs that they use for different things. And then you modernize it now. You bring out that herb. Many of you are chemists. You know how to, go to the lab and mold those things into medicine. Why don't we do that? One, is going to save us money. It's going to create job even in Africa, because once you start establishing, pharmaceutical companies and labs and everywhere to bring these herbs to manufacture them into medicine, you will create so much job in Africa. So that's what my friend and I were saying. Herbalists, 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 they are good for the nation of Africa. Let's go back and discover them and then help them to bring those herbs out to limelight, because people from outside Africa are going into Africa to get those herbs, and they're using it to manufacture drugs outside Africa, and like my friend said, and bring the drugs back to you. So you cannot live in a paradise and live like a pauper. Go and discover our herbs.
That's right.
And use them. Go ahead, my friend.
Mandy, I have to go back to what you said. You said when you was in school, secondary school or something, that there used to be a herbalist school?
Yes.
Okay, government now will call on you. Please do not stay there and let people come and take your talented individuals, people with the wisdom, people that already know they know how. They come there and take them because they offer them more money. You need to fight for what is yours. If they are outside, they offer them, let's say, $100. You government, because they are our indigents, and that money have to be spent in our country too, offer them $200. Because if they buy gas, you get what? You get tax. Whatever they buy food, whatever they use that money for, that particular continent or the country, the particular country will benefit from it. Do not stay there and let outsiders literally come and buy your technical know-how. That's all I can call it. Compete. When your people finish trainings like that, give them a decent salary. Give them what they need. So, because if they get a decent salary, they are not going to go outside to look for any other thing. Because those that come to hire them know their worth. So let's start valuing what we have. Let's know that those people, when they go outside, they are producing those things that we have to buy. Let's get our people back so they can be more productive to our country and have a more sense of belonging in their own motherland. So another thing I have to say is the philanthropists too. They can help to rediscover all these herbalists, because we have older ones that are phasing out now. How many of us go to them to learn how to do all those work? Because everybody want to go to somewhere else where they can get $1 and then it will be 100 million naira. You come back and you build a house, but they're not telling you what we are going through. So what I'm saying in effect is that there is what my friend always regard as humble beginning. A lot of people think you have to carry a basin to get money. Little by little drops of water make a mighty ocean. And when you're doing what you love, you will never get tired. A lot of us here do work because we have to work and feed our family, not what we want to do. But when you learn that thing that your parents was doing and is in your lineage, you learn it and do it. Modernize it. Make it better. Let people know this is who you are. We have social medias now. There are a lot of people that don't want to take medication, or this real tablet, or any other way, or needle. There are some people that don't want it. So look at the bitter leaf, my friend said. A company now is selling a bitter leaf what? Bitter leaf water. They grind it, they did whatever. It's still green as bitter leaf. They sell it, they put it in a bottle. Why we are blessed to have it in our own country. So let's look around and see what we have. We will create job, the quality of people's life will improve. So my friend.
Thank you so much, my friend. Actually, once again, while you were talking, I know we talked about scientists, we talked about, you know, how they can work with the herbalists. What came to my mind now is cosmetic. Because even people that work in cosmetic industry here, I remember most of the things that they use to manufacture things that women use are herbs. I remember growing up in Africa, there was something that we used to call lali. Lali, we used to use it as a nail polish. Exactly. So these are things that our people can discover, even people in cosmetic industry. And then, I mean, there's so many things. When we came here, once again, let's compare what we have seen in Africa and what we're seeing here. Even hibiscus. When I was growing up in our secondary school, even primary school, hibiscus, they planted all over the place. And we thought it was just a hedge, like a flower. In America, hibiscus is tea.
Oh, herbal tea.
Exactly.
Very expensive.
Okay, I mean we're not telling you exactly what to use for what, but we're just telling you that everything that we need is in Africa. Mango, they use even mango leaf, they use it for something. Cassava leaf, they use it for something. And these are things that we have. Even sometimes we let our animals eat those things, like the dog and I mean the sheep, the goat, not knowing that these are very, very important things that they're using in the Western world to manufacture things. Even like the lipsticks and everything. I remember when we were small, we go into the bush. There's little things that we put in our mouths and then color it. So why don't we go back, ask our parents, and then they can give us information about these things, and we can modernize them. Use them to build industries and once again create jobs. So that's what we're saying.
So please, if you're a herbalist, do not give up. No matter how people stereotype you, you know that you are not a witch doctor. All you're doing is trying to make sure you go inside the bush, get all those natural vegetations that are good for human body. And then please, all I have to do again is to encourage your children, your grandchildren, whoever want to listen, even your neighbor's child, anybody who want to listen, do not go anywhere with that talent you have, with the gift you have. Make sure you pass it on to somebody, because either way, we have to go back to basics, because we cannot go and borrow somebody else's culture, because it's not adding up, and we cannot continue to be who we are not. We have culture and we have to maintain our own culture. Please stop stereotyping herbalists so that we can have more of them in the villages, in the town, so that a whole lot of us that don't want medication can go there and get our drinks and our whatever we can rub on our body to look okay.
You know, there's something actually, when you said don't stereotype them.
Yeah, don't stereotype
I'll come in. You know why you were talking? You know why they're stereotyped sometimes? It's because sometimes when they're going into the bush to get the herbs, sometimes they go sleeveless, and then, you know, they're walking there almost like, exactly, they mix the tradition and the herbs and everything together, and then people look at them like it's something, you know, very archaic. So what we're saying now is that, I mean, if your father used to be a herbalist, if your father is still alive, you might even go into the bush with him. So just because he's carrying a stick and he doesn't have his shirt on doesn't mean that he's evil. So go with him, find out what he's doing. Some of them are like barks of trees that they have to cut. Some of them are like roots that they have to dig out, exactly.
Yes, and leaves.
Exactly. So even if you're coming from the city, you can put on your suit, put on whatever you want to put on, so that people won't see you in the bush and think that you're evil. So just go in, modernize it, like I said. You know, pass the word around. Like we talked about, educate your people, so that these things that we have will not go to waste.
That's right.
I mean, these are new generation. Our parents are getting older and older. So if we don't allow them to impart this knowledge to us, so they will die with the knowledge, and then we'll all be suffering, running away from our country when we have, or our continent, when we have everything that we need in our continent.
And you know what? Even when a woman had a baby here, what do we use? We call them, because I'm from Nigeria, I call them to bring some herbs for me. Because I saw my brother's wife, when they had their own babies, my mother would go and get the back of herbs and everything and give them, and they say it's good for the stomach.
Exactly.
So I took that tradition here, because before I had my own baby, I'll have to request for that. Even now, there are what we call Nigerian pepper soup. So we make them with herbs. So, and sometimes, like my son, when he get a runny nose or stuffy nose, or he say, "Mommy, can you make some pepper soup for me?" So we are trying to pass the torch, but we don't know what all those herbs are. That's why we are saying, these people getting it, men or women going in the bush to go and get those things, they're not diabolic.
Yes.
Please keep up the good work, because it's helping a whole lot of us.
Thank you so much. All right, we're rounding up. It's like the more you talk, the more I remember other things. I just remember even when we were small, there were little things that they use, like when someone is bleeding, if you have a cut, they will put it there, and then the blood, it will clot right away. So these are, things that we need people to go back and discover. Because we can't have all of these things, and we're wasting so much money here, buying medicine, and unfortunately, many of you do not know. The people that are manufacturing medicines here are going back to Africa. They're getting the herbs and they're coming back here and they use it to make the medicine.
True talk.
Yes.
That's the truth.
All right, so
that's the truth.
You always say a word is enough
for the wise.
Very good. Okay,
we said so much, so let's look into. I told you African is rich. You said that. You said we are rich, right?
Very, very, very.
We have everything God gave us.
It's a paradise.
Yes.
It's a paradise. Yes. All right, so our viewers, we thank you so much, and once again, we thank people that have commented so much, and the ones that are commenting. So we're here to give advice on how to rebuild Africa piece by piece, because we come from a beautiful nation, and we want to reclaim our position in history. So let's all come together and rebuild our nation. Not just the government, but the people and the government, because we are the government. Once we start doing the good things in our nation, once again, the nation will be good for all of us. So we thank you so much, my dear friend. Yeah,
thank you so much. It's time for us to start appreciating what we have, and know that what we have is going to take care of us if we take care of it.
Yes.
So that's what I have to say. Please, let's be sensible and be sensitive on what we say to people and how it affects their livelihood. So that's all I can say, my friend.
Yes. So we thank you, African Herbalists.
We thank you, the scientists.
And the scientists. So once again, get together and make Africa
proud. Yes, make us proud.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Watch us again next week.
And try to Sweet Home Africa. And make sure you subscribe. Pass it on. Don't be stingy with it, okay?
Thank you. May God bless you.
Pass it on. We need our scientists. We need our herbalists, because we need them at this particular time of the virus. All right? Bye.